welcome back. I'm so happy you're here. And of course, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Yanni and I'm doing this DIY channel together with, of course, Diane. On this channel, you will find lots and lots of daily decor DIYs and seasonal decor DIYs. If you like this content and you're not subscribed to our channel, of course, we hope you will click the red subscribe button and join our YouTube family. It doesn't cost you anything. So if you want to see more DIYs, come on over to our description box. There you find the link for this channel and our other DIY channel. So go check it out. For now, we jump into our DIY. And yes, you see already on my table I have a lot of pieces, but the main piece we're going to make three beautiful sign rounds. You can use them as a stand, but you also can hang them. But what this is the three heated set from Ikea, and they are very cheap. I think here in the Netherlands we pay only €1 or €2 for it, and that's similar like dollars. So it's very easy. Maybe you also have some old one laying around, and we're going to make three. And every three pieces I'm going to tell you what you're going to need. Of course, the main piece is this one, and of course our tumbling tile blocks, some paint at your choice, your glue gun and your glue stick, some ribbon and some greenery. Then you already have the lot of the pieces you need for all the three of them. And for each and every one, we're going to try to make them so unique as possible. So you can try them also for yourself. I do it for the Christmas season, but of course this is Christmas in July, but you can do it for any season. For our first one, we need only a couple of things. Some tumbling tile blocks, some styrofoam balls in two sizes. They are just a little pieces, two little ones. And we're going to do from two each. Of course, a little piece of ribbon at your choice, some paint at your choice, some letters at your choice. I use the Scrabble. And some brushes and some glue sticks, some knife, and of course a glue gun. And these are the main pieces you need for this DIY. Of course, we start with one of our pen holders, and we are going to just take one out of it. And this one are not very big. They are, yeah, I think the size, what is the size? The size is 19 centimeters, but I think in inches it's the half, if I'm correct. I'm not really sure. We are laying this one apart. We're going to take one of them and we're going to take our paint, and I'm going to use this lighter color chalk paint. So I'm going to do only the front of it and try not to do the sides, so only the front. So I just take my paint and I just do a little piece on the top. And of course I can do it in a little cup and then do it on top of here, but you know what I mean. Do whatever you think is right. I always try to do it as fast for you as I can. So it's very easy. Just wipe everything smoothly inside of the cork, because it's made of cork and sometimes it still sucks in a lot of the paint. So I'm going to find it a little on the ending like this, a little bit distressed, but not totally distressed, but not totally until the end. And this way that you get a nice, yeah, a little bit of a, not a clean round, just like this. So I will finish this off and then we're going to do the next step. See, my round is painted and he's letting a little bit through of my cork. I'm going to let this dry, and this is very fast drying. So I'm going to take my 4 little styrophones balls, and if you see, you also can most of the time see one line over the ball, which one is when they are coming together. This is not a one ball in totally. So in the line, I'm going to cut them in half. So that means that we get the half of the styrofoam ball like this. Very easy. Just try to get it as neat as you can. Cut them through, and at least I do my best to get them through like this. And you see, this is, there you have 2 of the halves. So you can normally one size is always a little bit bigger, but you can use this one for both of the snowmen, so you don't need from each ball 2, then you can use a 1. So I'm going to lay them apart. I'm going to do this one also in half. I get the line, and you see, maybe you can see it, you can see the line, and then I'm going to like this and I'm going to cut it in half and like this. And now I have two pieces, and when this is dry I'm going to glue them on top of my round. Now we have our round ready, our little snowmans are ready. We are going to get two tumbling tile blocks, and I'm going to glue two of them together. This is two of the bigger ones because I'm going to do my letters on top of here, but of course you could also use the smaller ones, and maybe you can I'm going to place them this way, but maybe then you can place them next to each other because they are a lot smaller. So I'm going to try for the bigger ones that they will work or not, so we will see how this will go. And again, squeeze them and press them down like this, and I'm removing the glue and like this. So we just have a nice little package of two. I'm going to get my letters and I'm going to use the word snow. So very easy, and I think I'm going to go for one higher, one lower, one higher and one lower, and then I'm going to try to squeeze a little that they just almost are fitting in. So it is a little bit of getting looking where they can be the best. So a little over here, not totally on the ending, a little overlay like this, and I'm going to go for the N, and I'm going to glue also this one next to this one. Make a nice line. I'm going to do this one but a little bigger, and a little glue, and I'm going to place them next to the other one, and then we can only do the W, and again some glue, and I'm going to place them on the same height like we have the other one, like this. But you can do it any way you like. I just have it this way, but do whatever you think is right. So I'm going to press it down like this, and I'm going to give it a little bit of some furniture wax, so to give it a little bit more of a rustic look. So I'm just going to take a small pencil. This is really a small one. Just do a little bit of furniture wax on top of here and just go over your tumbling tile blocks. Very easy, and also the sides, because we are going to see the sides. Very smoothly just go in between, and you also can do a little over your blocks if you like that. Also over the lettering, it's also fine too, so just go ahead. You don't have to do the underside, but very smoothly you can very easily, if you have a nice small pencil, you can very easily do this in between. But because if you do it in front, your blocks will be under the wax, and then it's very hard to get your glue from your glue gun. This is just a day. So if you want to have, if you want to still have, want to laugh, stay here because this will be one day. I already noticed it. So I'm going to finish this off a little faster. Now we're going to get our round, and we are going to glue our snowman on his place. Of course, we're going to look which parts are the best and which are fitting the best. So I'm going to go for this one. I'm just going to do some glue under here, and I'm going, ooh, you see already, he's already falling down. This is just such a day. So I'm going to lay one over here like this, and I'm going to get the other bigger one, of course, also over here, and I'm going to place it a little lower, just like this. Now we're going to get the head and a little glue, and of course glue from your glue gun is not the greatest because it is a little bit of melting your styrofoam, so be careful with it. Just do a little dot on here and don't press too much, and of course one over here. And now we wait until it is dried up, You see, if you lay later on your a little tag around it, it will be very nice. So we let this dry. So our snowmans are dried off. I did take out my ribbon and I made two little easy bows. So like this, just the way you tie your shoes. And I'm going to lay them over here. What I'm going to do first, and I hope I don't mess it up right now because I'm really bad in drawing some things on top of, of something. So I'm going to give it three little dots on the belly, just three little rounds, and under it and under here. But of course you can do anything on top of here what you want. I'm just going to keep it simple, but if you're just a great drawer, then make anything you like, because I always love to see how people make their cute little faces, and I wish I could, but I'm not a great people, someone who can make great faces or drawing something beautiful. I have to have it just from the little bit of the bigger things. So I'm going to get my glue and I'm going to get some uh, little piece of bow over here on both of our snowmen. So I'm going to very easy glue it on here with my glue gun. And of course I try to get on each side my velvet ribbon because I like the red velvet color. And he is already not in the mood for doing some glue work. So I hope he still gives some glue. Yes, he does. So I'm going to glue it in between over here. Just press it down like this. Of course, we have to remove the glue. And I'm going to get this one. And of course, I'm going to do some glue on the back side like this. And I'm going to glue this one in place over here. So now we already have almost our little snowman, but he still needs some eyes and nose, and do it whatever you think and how you like it. So I hope you already have your own little face on top of here. I just used two little googly eyes and a toothpick like this, and I'm going to paint him. The first part I did draw with the orange pencil, and I just made an orange piece and I just pulled it inside of the snowman. But don't make the first mistake that I did. First do jump just one with the point inside of the snowman, then turn it over and place it in, or else your hole will be a little bit too big. So of course you see it looks like a snowman, but of course I hope you have a much better face. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it some arms, but of course on this side and this side, because it's a little bit difficult to get an arm on it. So I'm going to use some old branches, and this is just from plastic. So I'm going to look which one is fitting the best, and maybe I can glue it on here. I have to look for what I'm going to do, if I'm going to place it on the side just over here and then this side. I think I will, and because on here it's very difficult, so I will figure it out. You see it in a moment. So I see I did one little of the branch over here and one little of the branch over here. You just can choose also a little branch from outside. You don't have to pay anything. This of course I also have laying around, and I thought when this is one left over, maybe it is nice if I glue it a little bit under the under one and just let it come out before I do my tag on here. So I think I'm going to glue this over here. So I prepared my branch so he is as flat as I can have him. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay it this way, and I'm going to glue my tag on top of here, and I'm going to glue it over my little branch. So it has to be a little flat like this, but maybe I have to turn it over. Maybe he's even flatter than that, and like this. So I'm going to do some glue on the back side, of course, and make sure that we press it real hard and we get it really down like this, and we make sure that we keep it in place until it is dried up, so so that everything is really glued together. So we will see. And then we're going to make our bow for on top and a little bit of greenery, but I love the neutral tones. So I'm going to keep it a little in the neutral, but you can go all the way you like. So I hope that everything will stick like this. So, and now we're going to do the bow. So I have the base of our little sign or round, just how you call it. I'm going to get the first start. What I'm going to do is always give it some greenery. I love greenery. So I'm going to take a branch, and I took out 2 of the same pieces like that. And you can do anything at your own choice. So I'm going to lay them over here. But what I'm going to do first, I'm going to get off a little piece of the plastic. Always. So we have less plastic on top of here as we can. So I'm going to place it, make sure that your sign is right, of lays down very, and I'm going to, this way, I'm going to do some glue on the back side, on here, and it doesn't matter if it's not too neat, just lay it over here and make sure that you glue it right. And I'm going to do some glue on the back side over here, on this branch and on this branch, and again lay it down over here and wait until the glue is totally dried, because you used a little bit more glue than normal. So make sure that everything is really dried up before you do the next step. So the glue from the branches did dry up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take 2 of the similar pieces of a garland, because I always buy a garland, and cut it off. And I'm going to lay them, of course, over here. Just do some glue over here and just lay your piece in between. Just squeeze a little around it and then lay it down and keep it in place for a little moment. And these berries are not plastic, they are wired. So also very easy to use, but you can use the plastic one, it doesn't matter. And just make sure again that you have it glued right. Also do on this side. And I'm going to do at the same time this berry over here, and also again move a little in the glue and lay it down and press it down also like this. And keep it in place until the glue is dried up. For this bow, we keep it very simple. We are going to cut out, and I'm going to use this very, a kind of jute, burlap. And it's not really burlap, I think, but at least it's a nice structure, and this has some wires. I'm going to do 2 pieces like this, double up, and I'm going to measure out where I can have my tails. And I think this is long enough, so I'm going to cut it off like this, lay them on top of each other, and this way make a nice fishtail. Just bend it over and just put a little cut this way, and then you already have your fishtail. Again, we are going to cut it open because we need 2 of them, and we have them cut open. Now you already have 2 pieces like this. And what we're going to do, we're just going to do some glue, very easy, in between, just on the ending like this. And what you're going to do, you're just going to fold them a little bit together like this, and make sure that you don't burn yourself. I don't feel anything, but for you, be careful that you don't burn yourself. So you make a nice little ending on top of here. This is already a 1. And I'm going to make the second one. Just do some glue and wait a couple of seconds like this until it is a little bit cooled down. And then go ahead and make sure and make a nice flat line like this again. And wait until it is dried up like this. So you have a nice surface to glue on top of here. And again, I let this dry, and it is dry in really seconds. Of course, now I have all my glue on my hand, but doesn't matter. And I'm going to, you see already, I'm going to, maybe I'm going to glue it over here. So I'm doing some glue on the back side, and I'm glue it again in the middle like this. and sideways. This is already one. And of course I showed you a little bit closer this way, so you just squeeze it together like this. And I'm going to do also on the back side. Here's some glue, and I'm going to place this one over here, but this side over like this, and bend your little berries a little bit out of it. And again, wait until it is dried up. Now we're going to do the top of the bow, which is very easy. You just take a piece of your ribbon, you're just going to cut it off like this, and I'm going to glue this one together. So just do some glue on the ending, a little line, and again, be careful, don't burn yourself. Squeeze it and make sure that you have a nice glued piece. And we make sure that this is in the middle. We bend it down and like this. And again, squeeze already a little right now, but we are going to get a little piece of the ribbon again, like this. And we are going to glue it. Of course, I have to cut it right. I'm going to go it over. I'm going to do some glue on this side. I'm going to place this one in and keep it in place for a little moment until it is dried up. And I'm going to bend it over and make sure that we get it on the back side again, glued together like this. It's very easy, and then you can work with it if you have wired ribbon like me. And again, wait until it is dried up. And the worst thing but with this ribbon is that he is little holes, so all the glue is coming through, so it is one big mess, but don't mind that, don't look at it. Of course, we're going to, when everything is dried up, we're going to squeeze it a little bit in, and we're going to make our own little bow. And how easy is this to make? And I keep this one a little bit flat because there is coming a little bow on top. So I'm going to glue this one on here very simply. Just do some glue again, and I'm going to squeeze it in, and I make sure that I have it glued right in here. Again, I keep it down until it is dried up. And then I show you already the base. Like this. You see, this is already the base. Now I'm going to get my other ribbon, and this ribbon is, I have it already for years and years. I bought it on AliExpress, so it says Merry Christmas. So I'm going to make a very easy bow again, and I'm going to glue this in the middle over here. So first I'm going to take two of the pieces of Merry Christmas, just a little pieces, and I'm going to do a fishtail. Very easy, just like we did with the other ribbon. And I'm going to glue it in here. I'm going to measure out where I want to have it like this. I think I'm going to cut off this piece, and I'm going to do for this one the same. So I'm going to measure them out and cut it out, and I'm doing some glue on this ending, and I place this one inside, so a little bit sideways like this, and wait until it is dried up, and then we're going to glue it in the middle of the bow. And again, of course, the glue is always the thing you have to wait for. Yeah, I think I am right. So I'm going to do on the back side a little glue, and I glue it in the middle of our bow over here like this and like this. So we let it hang here, and now we need only a simple bow for on top, but I am always struggling to get the same line, of course, also on the outside. So bear with me, I'm going to struggle with it a little moment. So I did struggle, I really did I really did struggle, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm going to get my tails on it. So again, place them up top of each other and make a nice fishtail also on the underside over here. We're going to lay this apart and we are going to glue our bow on top of the ending, so we get two nice little endings over here. And again, I have to make sure that my bow is not turning against me, because I don't like that. He has to do what I hope he will do. And again, some glue on the back side, and I'm going to glue it on top of here and make sure that it is dried up like this. And this way. And now I'm going to give it an ending with a little piece of greenery, and I'm already loving how it's turning out, especially when you made it just from a simple cork and some styrofoam little balls. So I'm going to get some greenery and I'm going to top it off on the top, because I don't like the finishing touch over here. So I'm going to just get some greenery like this. I'm going to cut off a little piece of the top like this. And I'm going to first glue one over here inside of the bow. So very easy. My glue gun is already finished for today. And I'm going to place it on the top. Just squeeze it in. And this way. Then you already have the first ending. But we don't like this ending. So we're going to get, again, a little piece of the greenery. And I think I need two pieces. Like this. So I'm going to place also two over here, some glue, and you can end it with any greenery you like. You don't have to do it the same that I do. So I'm going to glue one over here, because I don't like when the ending is not very nice looking, because you always are going for a high-end look. So I always say just take some greenery again and glue it together. And I keep it in place for a little moment, and you see later the end reveal of also this little sign. But we need to give it a backside stand, because mine I always do on a stand, because you can do of course a piece of ribbon on the backside, but I'm going to do a stand, and the stand is always very easy. I'm going to do two blocks like this, and I'm going to place them against each other. This is already one. And I'm going to do this one, a line in the middle, and place it in the middle also. And again, squeeze it and press it down. And this way. And we are going to glue it on the back side, but of course, always not totally under it, but a little bit higher, so he can stand on his own. For our next round, we are going to use, of course, a cork round again, from Ikea, or maybe somewhere else. Maybe I think the Dollar Tree also will have them. Some couple of tumbler tile blocks, some greenery, some little cones, and these are the styrofoam cones, a ribbon at your choice, some letters at your choice, a knife, some brushes, some scissors, and of course our paint, because we are going to start to paint this one. This one I'm going to paint a little bit of the brown. It's not totally brown. It's a little bit, I don't know how you call it. It's not chocolate, but chocolate is a little bit darker. But I don't know. At least it's a little bit on the brown side. And again, I'm going to do the same like I did with my first. I'm just go over it, not totally to the ending, just a little rounding. I leave open like this, and very easy. Of course, I will do the rest a little bit faster, and for you, because then you don't have to wait for it. So our round is already in some paint, and you see already it's a little bit more like the darker color. I'm going to leave this for drying. I'm going to get my little styrofoam cones, or I use them as trees, and I'm going to get my knife again. And also with the cones, you see already this one line. I hope you can see it, that there is a line in the middle, so you can go through it, so you have two pieces. So again, I'm going to cut this one also open. I will do that a little bit faster because or else everything takes much too long of your time. And you see I have them in 4 pieces, at least 4 trees. And it is always a little hard, is the inside, to get them straight through. Probably you have maybe an X-Acto knife that's maybe a little bit better than what I use. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place them. I'm sorry, I have to sneeze. There is coming some, there's coming some little of those balls coming off. So I'm going to paint it in the green color, and I'm going to use a little bit of the darker green, but you can use brown, you can use any color you like for your decor. Of course, very easy, just take some green and I'm going to paint them totally in the green. And I'm going to do all the sides also a little bit better because I don't want to, the sides which is probably not totally a straight line, and then you can see a little bit on the sides too. So I'm going to do a little bit further than only the sides. So I'm going to do this a little bit faster again. So my trees and of course my underpiece is round is drying. I'm going to take 2 of our tumbling tile blocks and a couple of my Scrabble letters, and I'm going to make the word Xmas tree, so Christmas tree. But of course it has to be short because totally Christmas didn't fit on, fit on here. So I'm just going to do some glue on the side like this, and I'm not going to glue it totally straight but like this, and I'm going to squeeze it. And now I'm going to write, of course, Xmas on the top, and he's just fitting on it, so I just have to do a little glue, and I'm going to place it over here to make sure that I have it in the middle like this. And now I'm going to glue the rest, so just a dot in the middle, and you can place them next to each other, at least if you use the Scrabble letters. If you have sticker letters or something else, it's also fine. And I'm going to do the A, and I'm going to squeeze it also next to the other one. And now the S as the last letter of this piece. And of course over here in a straight line. This is already one. Now we're going to start with 3 under here, and of course he's also just fitting on top of it. He's just having a little overlay. So, but these letters are not the very big, the Scrabble letters. You have them much bigger. So I'm going for the R, and I did the other round, I did the furniture wax on the side of the blocks, but I don't think I'm going to do this with this one because or else it gets a little too dark, I think. So maybe I leave it in this color. So I have to see and I have to think about it, but I think I'm going to leave it this way. And the last letter we are going to make the A. And you see here, now you have Christmas tree, and I know you see it backwards, but that's just my telephone. Later you will see the right way, but I think it looks very nice, and we can glue it on here, we can glue it on this side of our round, but we do that later. So my little Christmas trees are almost dried up. I'm going to do this as an example because he's not glued together, because I want to be sure where I want to have my tree. And of course I have to go for this, and I think I'm going to place it over here. So I'm going to do some glue on this side, and of course I have to do a little bit more because it is warm glue and sometimes it's just wrinkled because the styrophone is not the greatest to glue on. So I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to get the smaller piece be next to it. So very easy, and lay it next to the other one like this. Of course I have to get my glue away, and now we already have our trees in place like this. And he's still not totally dry. You see already on my hands I still have some green. Now I'm going to glue my sign over here, and I think I leave it over here. I like that he's this way. So again, some glue, and of course on this side we do some glue, and we're going to place it over here and this way and squeeze it and press it down like this, because we want to be sure that everything is gluing right. So now what I'm going to get a little bit of the greenery pieces, and I have here some old pieces. Of course I am totally in your in your face, so I'm going to cut this off, and you see, if I am cutting this very shortly, just pull off the plastic like this. I can do one over here, and of course I'm going to keep this one also a little bit shorter, like this, the same length. I'm going to glue both of them in between and just under our tree, so it gives a nice ending of our tree. And I think I want to cut this a little bit more different, because I don't like the cut. So like this, and I have to work a little bit with it, because I don't like the plastic. I'm really someone who can really hates that when the plastic is too much. So I'm just going to glue it over here. So I'm going to get some glue at the ending of our backside of the little branch. I'm just going to place it in. Make sure that you have it on the place you want to have it, this way. And now I'm going to do the other one, the other side over here, and also squeeze it in. Very easy. And you make sure, because glue from your glue gun normally dries already in second, but on the cork it's taking a little bit longer. So be sure that you hold it in place until it is dried up, because you don't want that your piece is destroyed. And I'm going to squeeze this one also in and keep it in place until everything is dried up. And just work a little bit with the hairs of your greenery, so it stands up very nicely. You see, now we already have an underpiece also under our greenery. And we can work that with some, I think maybe a little top of some greenery, because you see here is a little opening. I think I'm going to go for a little smaller one, and I'm going to cut off a little piece like this, and I'm going to place it in the middle. So I have to show it to you. You see, this is going this way, this is going this way, and I'm going to place this one in the middle, like here, because that gives a nice finishing touch. And of course I'm keeping it in place until it is dried up again. And of course I won't let you wait that long. Now he is dried up. We are going to take some greenery again, some piece like this one, and the same one on this side. So again, I show you that I have again two of the same pieces. You see this, both of them are the same. We are going to cut off the ending of the plastic again, and like this. And we're going to do with this one the same again, the same like we did with our first round. And I'm going to again make sure that you have it straight, and I'm going to do again some glue on this side, and I'm going to make sure that we have it in the middle like this. Squeeze it and press it down. And again, we have to wait until it is dried up again. I'm going to do some glue on this side, so we can wait on the same time again with the other one again. And we are going to place it inside of here also again until it is dried up. So the tops are already glued in, you see already. And now I'm going to get my red berries, because it needs a little bit of the coloring, and I'm doing some glue over here and on the other side, of course, for our other branch, and just go inside of the glue and squeeze it and just press it down. And we're going to do with this one the same, just move a little bit with the stem inside and then press both of them down. And again, we are going to let this dry. Also, it's only drying and painting. It's one big chaos, but at the end, I hope you have three nice little rounds you can use anywhere in your decor, even on a tier tray, because this size is very small. So you see, now also our berries are dried in. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my burlap or jute piece. I'm going to do two little pieces of till, not a big one, because or else we will be in front of the lettering. So this is just measuring out a little. So I'm going to do this one, and I have to look that what I have in my head is also correct. So I have really no idea if this will work or not. So again, we are going to bend it, just double it up like this, and then just make a nice little side cut, and you already have your fishtail like this. I'm going to cut it open again. This one also. And I'm going to have now two pieces again. And I'm going to do one turn. So I'm going to do my glue on. And I'm not going to totally squeeze it because that's a little bit too small. I'm just going to do just this way and then just bend it over like this. Just one over. I showed you I'll do some glue on this side. Just one drop and then bend it over and squeeze it on top of each other like this. It's very easy. And just wait until it is dried up again. And we already have one over here, and now we're going to do the second one. Again, just one drop over here, and we're going to lay it over each other like this. Of course, I have to turn it a little like this. So we have our two pieces, and I'm just going to lay down one over here. Very easy, just squeeze it down so you don't get in the lettering. Just like this. And I'm going to do this one, this side over. And again, lay it on top of each other. And this way. And we let this dry also. So you just get a nice little tail, not too much, but a little. And now we also do the bow itself. Also the same, not a big one, a little bit of the smaller one. So again, I'm just going to cut off a little piece over here, I think. And I'm just going to glue it again on the line. And this way, we're going to place it on top of each other this way. And we make sure that this is in the middle. So we squeeze it this way. And of course, squeeze already a little bit until your glue is drying up. Like this. And I keep it in place for a little moment. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do the thicker ribbon. I'm going to take a piece of my Merry Christmas ribbon, but I'm going to turn it over, and that's the plain red color. So I'm going to do a little glue over here in the middle. I'm going to lay my ribbon on here and wait until it is dried up. And now I'm going to turn it over, make a line and do a couple of turns over it like this, and I'm going to glue it on the back side. And make sure that you close it up. And now you have a nice red middle piece of your bow, like this. Very easy. And I'm going to glue it, of course, also in the middle. Just do some glue. Oh, already like this. And I'm going to place it over here and keep it in place for a couple of seconds again. And then we are going to make the top of our piece also again very neat, because we don't like endings which are not nice to see. So again, we have to work with it. And I think he already looks very nice, but of course we don't like the top. You can already see. If you see in the top, that's not a nice side to see. So we are going to get another piece of our greenery, and I think one of this one, and I'm going to cut it smaller like this. And I have to look, so I'm going to do one on this side and one on the other. So I need again another one. I think also this big. I'm going to do some glue, and I'm going to place one over here against the bow top like this. I show it to you in a moment a little better. So against the bow top, not inside, but just over it like this, just over this piece. Then you close your bed ending on the side. So again, give it and place it on the top and make sure that it dries up. And then you have a nice closed, of course, also on the top. When you look above, you have also a nice topping like this. So I'm going to get my green paint, because I see a little white piece in between. So I'm going to go give it one little coat again. And then we're going to give it his stand, and then also this second round is finished. And how easy was this one? For our last round, of course, you see from the packages already, the last round from the 3. This will be totally, I have really no idea. I'm just going to mix everything, and pieces which were falling off from the other 2 rounds. I'm going to mix all of them together in this piece. So we will see how this will turn out. First, I'm going to start with, of course, our paint, glue gun, some Christmas trees we left over, some Scrabble letters, also of course some blocks of our tumbling towel blocks around, and some ribbon and greenery at your choice. So we are going to paint this one first. I'm going to paint this around in the black schoolboard paint. So again, the same like we did with the other one, just not totally to the ending, just little piece open. So, but this is with schoolboard paint a little bit harder, because this is thicker paint. The other one, chalk paint, is very thin, so we just have to work a little bit with it. So I'm going to do this also a little bit faster. See, my round is drying already here on the side. We are going to take 6 of our tumbling towel blocks, and what we're going to do, we are going to glue them together like this. One up, one down, and one up and one down. So very easy. Just do a little glue on here, not totally to the top. And we are going to do it this way. This is already one. Now we're going to do on the underside also some glue. And we're going to glue this one on the same height like we did with the other one. Like this. And now we're going to do a little glue over here, and we're going to place this one against it like this, and we're going to do the other one a little over here, and I'm going to place it against the same height like this, and we only need this one. So again, a little on here, and we're going to place this one also on the same height like this. It doesn't matter if it is a little out of line, but at least now we have already our first piece of our tag. We're going to remove the glue we don't need. I chose for the word joyful, and I'm going to place it inside. So do a drop of glue on the middle over here. This is already one, and I'm going to do the other one next to it on the same height and in the middle of this block, like here, and now this one. And like I said, I chose the word joyful, but you can use any word you like. Maybe you have nothing with this kind of words, and if you do it for maybe for the fall season or for another season, you can also do for the fall or maybe Thanksgiving or something else. And again, and this one we have to glue over here, and now only we need the L, and this is the last already, and like this. And now you already have your own tag, joyful. Like I said earlier, I know it's backwards, don't mind. So this is already finished. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do this one with some furniture wax, because it gets a little bit of a lighter underground. Also for this tag, I'm using a little bit of my smaller brush, and I'm going to get my wax and very easy place it in the wax color. And of course, if you have it rather in a painted color, then paint it before you do the letters on top, or then it's always a little bit more difficult. So if you want to use a paint, just paint this first and then do your letters on top, because I can very easily go inside of here, but with paint it's always a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to do this a little bit faster. So the round is already dried up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my little tag and I'm going to place it over here. So I'm going to do some glue. Of course, I need some new glue stick. Always when I'm on DIY like this. And I'm going to do some glue over here. And I'm going to place it over here like this, and I'm going to squeeze it and press it down and keep it in place until everything is dried up. So I have my tag on top of here, and he is already very big, so he's already taken the place. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make from my velvet ribbon, and you can use any ribbon. I'm going to make a very simple bow, just the way you tie your shoe, very easy, just go around it, put it through, and just this way. Of course, if you want to make a funky bow or something else, totally fine. I'm going to need a simple little one for over here, and this is just the simple bow. I just mean I'm doing some glue on the back side. Whoop. At least I'm going to try to do some glue on the back side over here, and we are going to place it under the F, but a little bit sideways, just like this. And I'm going to place it over here like this, so we get a nice little touch of Christmas. Here in the Netherlands we call a bow a strik. It's a much different word than you use a bow, but we call it a strik. So it's, like I said, much different. I'm going to do now some greenery on top, so I'm going to get my greenery. And you see here I have again one branch, and there are two pieces which are the same. This is one, and this is also the second one. And we used it on all three of our rounds. And again, we are going to cut off the plastic like here. And I'm going to do it on this one over here. It takes a little bit more of your time, but your work will be much easier to do. Of course, we are going to go for one this side and for one this side again. So we make sure that joyful is always in the middle and is in a straight line. So I'm going to go for some glue on the back side again over here. I'm going to place it down over here. This is already one. I'm going to turn over this one. And of course, I have to do everything with one hand, but you get used to this. So like this. And maybe professional people do it much better than I do. But I'm just an amateur. I just love to show you how easy it is just to make a simple DIY with a couple of things. Only for this one, we only need the cork heater or heat holder. I don't know how you call it. Here in the Netherlands, we call it onderzetter. It's just also a totally different word. And I'm going to some black paint and some tumbling tile blocks, some letters and a piece of ribbon, and you already have your own unique little sign you can make anything you like. So this is already one. And again, what we're going to do, we're going to take our berries, because I am loving the berries. I'm going to cut off a little piece like this. And I'm going to do this one for the other side. And again, I'm going to cut off a piece of our. And I'm going to give it a nice shape. The longer one in the middle, always take some time for it, and your work will be much nicer to look for. So again, this way, I'm doing some glue over here, and I'm going to do some glue on this side to lay it in. So I'm going to go again like we did earlier, just go through the glue and lay it down. And we do here the same, just go through the glue, just turn it over and then lay it down. Very easy, just like this. And now we're going to keep it in place for a little moment, but of course I will cut this piece for you, or else you have to wait so long for me with me. So I have now also the berries on top of here. Maybe you can see it close. You see the glue. This is one big mess of glue, but it holds, and that's the most important. What we're going to do, we're going to build further, and we are going to make now, getting two pieces on each side from the velvet ribbon we also used over here. We let it come back. I measure out. I'm going to cut out first a straight cut like this. I'm going to measure out how long I want to have it. I think maybe here. I'm going to double it up like this. I'm going to cut it off over here. I'm going to try to get a little fishtail. I don't know if this will work or is it just too small. And it does work. It's not totally perfect, but it doesn't matter. Like this. And now I'm going to turn it over, so we get both of the velvet pieces on the top. Of course, when they want to go out of each other, I don't believe it. They were so attached to each other. So I'm going to do some glue on one of the velvet sides like this. And I'm going to place the other one over it. And this way, a little bit sideways. And of course, we need to remove the glue. And now you have this kind of pieces. So I'm going to glue one over here. So I'm going to do some glue on the back side like this, and I'm going to lay it in here. And of course I have to let it dry. I'm going to do for the other side the same. Of course, you also can measure out already in front, and not what I do. So again, clean cut. And I'm just going to go over it, double it up like this, lay it on top of each other and go to the ending. And we are going to cut it off this way. We lay them on top of each other, we squeeze them double, and then we're going to make a side cut again. And we go to the top, we are going to cut them open, and again do some glue on the first ribbon with the velvet, and then this one, and again make sure that you have it sideways this way and let it dry. And then we're going to do on the other side some glue, and now we're going to place it on top of the other one, and again this one over here. It doesn't matter, later you can work with it. And again, we already have now two extra pieces of our ribbon coming through, because I like the red color. We're going to take our burlap ribbon again, and don't worry, I use for all three of them this because I like this ribbon, but you can use buffalo check, you can use maybe trucks, you can use anything. If you do place a little truck over here, maybe you can buy some at the Dollar Tree. I saw already beautiful pieces, but we don't have it here, so I have to make everything, most of the things myself. So again, I'm going to make two of our tails, and again we're going to cut it off like this. I'm going to double it up, also this one, and do cut this way. And again we have already our fish tail, and I'm going to cut this open again like this. And you see we have again, I think he's a little bit too long, so I'm going to double them up again, and I'm going to cut off one little piece like this because I don't want them over my words. And I'm going to squeeze them again just like we did with the other one, like this. Make sure that you have it in a line like this. And again, be careful that you don't burn yourself. That's the most important. So we already have one, and now we're going to go for the second one. A little bit of glue, and we are going to squeeze it and double it up. And I hope everything will stick together this way. And again, let it dry between your hands, but be careful. Like this. So we see already we have two pieces, and now we can glue them on top of each other. So very easy. And I show you also now without the pieces. That's maybe a nice, you see, and the top is already over here, and then we're going to work with it in a moment. So we're going to go place this one over here a little bit down, because it can come a little bit more down this way, and we're going to go for this one, and we're going to place this also a little bit down, and this, and squeeze it and make sure that everything sticks together like this. And I'm going to make now a very simple easy bow, the same like we did with the other one. Again, I'm going to cut off a little piece like this. I'm going to try, I never did this before, I think I'm going to try to double it up and then look if I can get one of the loops out of each other. I never did it, but I was thinking maybe I can try it. I really have no idea how this will work or not. So I'm going to double it up, do some glue, and I'm going to glue this one over this one. And now I'm still hope, because the structure is open, I hope all two of them are gluing at the same time. And again, I'm going to squeeze them a little like this and keep it in place until it's already dry in a little. I'm going to try if I have enough from this. Just do some glue. I'm going to place this one in between already. Also keep it in place. And I hope I can get the turn over until the other side. At least I hope I can. And you see, I'm just doing something. It's not totally no rhyme or reason for it. So don't worry. This is, maybe this works or maybe it's one big mess. But with me, it's never boring. Because I really don't know how things will work out. Now I have get my fingers off my glue like this, and I'm going to try to make, if I can get it out of each other like this. And this one, of course, over here. I don't even know if I like it or not. I really have no clue. And I have to give it a little space over here and over here. I really don't know what I must think of it. I really have no clue. but I'm going to glue it. I'm going to use it. We work with what we have, and then maybe at the end we say, oh yes, this looks nice. So I'm going to glue this on here and just squeeze it and press it down until everything is dried up. This is just experiment. I never did two of them together, and not at least glued together in one piece. Of course, you have funky bows which have much more loops, but you do it in a different way than this way. Like this. So, I'm sorry, I hear already that I say a lot of like this. Don't worry about it. It's just me. That's just a word I use a lot. So, you see, now we already have the top, but of course the ending is not the greatest. I'm going to get some greenery again, 2 pieces, and I'm going to cut them off like here. And I'm going to make sure that the other one is also a little bit on the same length. And again, I'm not going to squeeze, but I'm going to place it inside this way and the other on the other way. So I'm going to do some glue on the ending, like this. You see already, like this. And I'm going to squeeze it and press it over here. And I'm wait and hold it. And I'm going to do with the other one the same. And again, I'm going to place it the other way, behind your bow, but over here. And I'll keep it in place. And so we have a nice topping of our little round. And how easy and how cute is this turning out? I really hope you give one of the three at least a chance. In a moment you see all three of them. And here you see a quick impression of our 3 Christmas signs. I'm so happy how all 3 of them turned out. Of course, this time I made them from some corks from Ikea because I had them laying around, and some tumbler towel blocks. If you want to make them totally from tumbler towel blocks, I made one on my own channel all about Christmas. In our description box there you find the link for that channel, so go check it out. For now, of course, I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you do, I hope you will click the subscribe button if you're not subscribed and give it a thumbs up. It would help our channel a lot to grow, and it doesn't cost you anything. So enough talking. I wish you all an amazing day. See you next time. Bye.